Selamat siang Bapak Ibu sekalian. Thank you for having us and thank you for making the time. We're incredibly happy to have each and every one of you joining us in a very pivotal moment in Indonesia's agriculture industry and food resilience. And we cannot be more excited to host each and every one of you in our event today. Hopefully you will learn a lot. And I know I have learned a lot the past few months. When Pak Andy Zain approached me a few months back to talk about doing a research report on food security, I was hesitant because, like Pak Andy Zain, my strongest background is in technology, investment. Why should I do food security? Like, I know I like food, obviously, but why should I do a report on it? And then I was curious, so I started doing a little bit of research about food security in Indonesia, the supply chain, and I ended up realizing that I actually have family members who are in the value chain itself. So I talked to them and realized that this is way, way bigger than we ever talked about in the so-called agri-tech community in Indonesia. Agri-tech is important, but apparently it's only maybe 5% or maybe less, only the surface. And for us in Indonesia specifically, we found that Indonesia is ripe for innovation, not just in the financing agricultural projects, but again, it goes way deeper. Indonesia is entering most aggressive food sovereignty era. As you can see, also Pak Minister also explained that when we talk about food security, it's a lot deeper than just producing food, but it's also about the things that are inside and the value chain as well as the talent. And from my background in technology, we also talk about how technology is not just an optional component, but it is the cornerstone, Pak Bungaran said, the cornerstone of the industry. What we also learned during the creation of this report is that the climate shocks are now, we're living it now. It's very apparent, it's very obvious, and we want to be able to provide pathways and digital early warning opportunities through digital solutions. We also see that through the government's plan of reducing import, we want to showcase these gaps, the strategic efforts, as well as the programs from the government to smoothing domestic production, as well as strengthening the value chain. And if you look at our tech report for the past few years, fintech is still strongest, but there is one common silver lining. All of them has an agriculture component, proving that even with the regional funding downturn, agriculture is still Indonesia's biggest bet. What we also see, and this is amazing because we see this today, judging from the people attending, the corporates and the startups are finally aligning. We have the same goal, same vision, same mission, and not just valuation, but it goes to value creation. It's deeper than just valuation. So, Daily Social, together with Andy Zain and Foundry and Stellaris, we worked for the past few months to create this report. We talked to people, we did our research, and here are some of the highlights from the report. You can see that Indonesia has a huge agribusiness. In terms of the TAM and SAM, super huge. But we also understand that it reframes agriculture not just a sector, but it's actually a national growth engine to the economy. And this also in line with the government program to increase the GDP 8%. And agriculture, empowered with technology, is going to be a very significant part. My second favorite slide is the framework where we highlight robustness, recovery, and reorientation. That includes each bucket of these pillars includes technology. So again, technology as a cornerstone of the sector, non-optional cornerstone of the strategy. It also shows that Indonesia is still heavily reliant on imports. But it is not impossible for us to, moving forward, once we strengthen our pillars, we can be more sufficient. Therefore, giving opportunities not just for domestic economy, but also opportunities for investors and as well as policymakers to strengthening the industry moving forward. A few of the pages on the report also talks about how climate change impacts Indonesia's agriculture. Of course, we see this all the time, but we also want to highlight the opportunities for potential solutions, as well as the potential upside for investors in terms of climate risk, because this is how we can finance or fund resilient technology that is used to make our agricultural system more resilient towards climate change. And last but not least, it showcases some of the best companies in the country and how technology has impacted the company. Again, this is not just about startups. This is way beyond. This is solving real problem, actual problem, and delivering true impact. We've talked to GGF, we talked to Eratani, Chicken, Agrari, Kreasi Pangan. You can see how technology and innovation really impact their business, meaning a lot of learnings that can be extracted from this report for each and every one of you to be successful in this particular sector. In order to download it, it's already available for free. In your desk, you can see there's a name label there's a QR code in the back that you can scan, or you can scan here as well, available for download now. And we hope each and every one of you can learn a lot from this report, just as we learn a lot from creating this report. And hopefully this discussion can be the start of a meaningful progress towards adopting technology and innovation into strengthening Indonesia's agriculture and food resilient value chain. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rama Mamuaya, for presenting the highlights of the white paper.